And this was actually what this client said to me. She said, it used to be easy. I thought that I could just make a few little slight changes and I would start losing weight. It is not like that in midlife, you guys. I really hate to be a continued bearer of bad news, but let's get real. Let's quit telling ourselves excuses. Hello, friends, and welcome to the Honeycast. It's funny, I really am always thinking about you guys and what you might need to hear, what you want to hear. And sometimes when I'm listening to other podcasts or other people talking or I'm listening, I'm always looking for the key. I'm looking for keys to share with you to either help you be a success in your weight loss journey or to help support you on your menopausal journey with hormones and exercise. And sometimes it's really fun just to take a coaching experience that I've recently had and break it down for you guys, because this is exactly how I coach. This is how I've learned to be able to show up for myself, to make best choices, to support my body with the best foods and the movement and the exercise. Getting educated is first, but then learning how to apply those. That's where the beauty of coaching comes in. And that's where the beauty of even me sharing this journey with you, how it can help you, because you can see yourself in some of my clients, and you can also take these practical tips and put them into practice. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about today, I was actually in a conversation with a client, and she's in my longer term coaching program, and she is out at about maybe the 2-month mark. And when I got on the Zoom call with her, she had shared a little bit of frustration. And the frustration was that she wasn't losing as fast as she thought she would. How many of you have had that thought before? Like you've set out, you're paying for coaching, or maybe you're just changing some things and you're just not seeing the results like you used to. Well, first, if you are in your 40s and beyond, I'm going to tell you we've got to manage those expectations. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. This exact same thing happened to me in my 40s when I could do things in the past to drop a few pounds or to get results that I wanted. It stopped working. And as a matter of fact, I started gaining weight. I started getting a muffin top. I started feeling like crap. I couldn't sleep. I had all of these things going on. And I was used to having a little bit more of a quick fix mindset. And what I want to share with you today, and this is my conversation with this particular person, was the first thing that we want to do is let's go ahead and look at the progress. So it may not be a scale victory, but are you making progress in any area of your health journey? Let's take a look at that. Let's see what is better, because I guarantee there are things that are going better than they were, and you're doing things better than you were, and you are seeing some results. It's just maybe not the results that you're looking at. Our brain wants to go solve all the problems, so it will go to the negative. So it's called a negative bias. And we really have to catch that, because if we focus completely on that negative over and over and over, it does not allow us to show up like we want to. As a matter of fact, we get discouraged, we give up, we throw the baby out with the bathwater, we start doing whatever. Well, this doesn't matter, so I might as well eat this. So what I want to say is we need to change our expectation to this is going to take a while. This is actually going to take longer than I think it is. And I like to encourage you to, instead of commit to the scale, to commit to, 2 pounds a week or have that expectation. I want you to think, okay, let's look at the next 6 months. If the scale doesn't move, I'm okay with that, because I am committed to myself. I'm committed to this healthier way of eating. I'm committed to this fat loss way of eating. That is the mindset that we want to have, because otherwise you were going to get frustrated and you were going to think this doesn't work, and then you're going to stop doing it. And guess what? It's not going to work because you stopped doing it. So that's the first thing we want to talk about is managing those expectations. Let's commit to 6 months. And I don't even love the scale as a measurement. Now, I do have a smart scale, and that can be helpful to let me know if I have fat gain or fat loss. But the scale may stay the same, especially if you are getting adequate protein and if you are working out, which is key for fat loss. Muscle building is a needle mover for fat loss, especially for women 40s and beyond. So we want to change that expectation to, I'm just committed to myself for the 6 months. I'm doing these things right here. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you one thing that you can do if you don't change anything else. Get 3 to 4 doses of protein, 20 to 30 grams at each meal, 3 to 4 doses throughout the day. If you're not doing that, if you don't change anything else, try me. Just try this for 6 weeks. Just try it. Things will change. Your body will start to go into fat burning mode. Protein is thermogenic. There's a lot of amazing reasons why we need protein. Just throwing a little tip out there. So we're going to change our expectations, and then you actually want to take a look at what you're doing. So when I'm talking to this particular client and she's turning in her food journals to me, she is eating off plan 3 to 4 times a week and eating inflammatory foods like pretzels and tortilla chips and the kids' M&Ms and things like that. If we expect to have changes in our weight, we can't keep doing the same things that we were doing. Something has to change. And that's part of actually what she said to me. She said, if I want something to change, I have to do it differently. And so we started talking about, okay, why are we off plan eating? Is it lack of discipline? I don't love the word discipline. I think it's important, but we want to learn how to allow urges, and we want to learn how to self-coach to be able to stay on plan. These are the things that I'm teaching. These are the things that we're doing. We're learning how to allow the urge, how to play it forward. Do I really want that M&M? How is that going to affect me right now? How am I going to feel later? What is it going to do to my blood sugar? It's going to put me in fat storage mode. It's not going to help me get to my goals. All of these are thoughts that really help you make better decisions. So if you want to do something, if you want to have a change, you have to do something differently. So we've got to get back to eating on plan or healthy choices. Do we have to be perfect? No. But the little foxes, they come in, you have a bite here, a bite there, and then you look and you're like, wow, I've had sugar 3-4 times this week. White flour and white sugar and the processed oils are 3 of the most fat storage products that are going to cause inflammation. They're going to cause your body to go into fat storage, and they are not going to help you on your weight loss journey, nor your hormone journey in menopause. So we really want to be educated. We want to bring in the why. We want to learn to allow that urge to be there. Yeah, it's just an urge. I don't have to choose that. I can go over here and choose this healthy thing. Let me get my healthy on-plan protein ball or protein shake or fruit. You can have some healthy things that are still treats. So she had to realize, okay, she's got to change that. So let's tighten up. We're going to tighten up for just this little bit. We're going to tighten up, and we are going to be mostly on plan. That's really what we're doing. So we're going to have things ready for ourselves, and we're going to allow the urge to be there and make a healthy choice. The more that you practice that, the more that you do that, the better you'll get at it. You will create momentum. You will feel better. You will start seeing results. The other thing is, and this was actually what this client said to me. She said, it used to be easy. I thought that I could just make a few little slight changes and I would start losing weight. It is not like that in midlife, you guys. I really hate to be a continued bearer of bad news, but let's get real. Let's quit telling ourselves excuses. It takes longer because we're looking at a decline in estrogen, decline in hormones. We're looking at increased insulin resistance because of that. We're looking at the aging factor. We're looking at losing muscle and bone, which contribute to a lower metabolic rate. We're looking at metabolic issues. We're looking at calorie deficit sometimes. We're not even eating enough. We are looking at protein inadequacy. we are looking at these things that contribute to weight loss and overall health, we're not really looking at those things, prior to our 40s. These things they're not really in the picture. They are in the picture, but they're not as big as they are here. So the small things that we're doing, they do count, but we have to look at what are the small things that we're doing? Are they needle mover or not? Okay, the other thing is quit telling myself excuses. That was one of the things she says. Okay, so one of her excuses was, this bite won't make a difference. It will make a difference. I'm just going to tell you. I tell myself, no, it will. And therefore, I'm going to choose a healthy bite. The other excuse is, I'll start on Monday. I'll go ahead and I went to a wedding, just going to go ahead and eat everything at the wedding. And then the day after the wedding, then I'll start on Monday. No, you won't. And then you'll have 48 hours of trying to get out of inflammation and regret and feeling terrible and getting that stuff out of your system and cleansing your cells. So let's just tell ourselves the truth, and let's get on to the tools that are going to help us. Like, okay, in 3 hours, if I do go off plan or off grid for a little bit, and it's non-negotiable, I'm not going to start Monday. I'm starting in 3 hours. I love that 3 hour window, 3 to 4 hours. I can make a healthy choice and it will make a difference. And so every bite really does count. And that's what I tell myself. I tell myself the truth. If I am going to have an off-plan eat or treat, I plan it ahead of time. I do not let myself give in to desire, because I'm just wiring that in my brain. I'm getting a dopamine hit and I'm just listening to it. And that's not the way I'm rolling. If I am going to have something off plan, I'm going to plan it. I'm going to make sure there's protein around it. I'm going to have a small, moderate amount. And then in 3 hours, I'm getting back on. All right. Another thing that we're working on is building trust with yourself. If you say, I'm going to, eat these healthy things all week long, and I'm not going to have this, and I am going to do this, and then you find out that, or you show up for yourself and you actually don't follow through, that causes the feeling of where you're not in congruency with yourself. You aren't trusting yourself. We want to build trust with ourselves so that your yes is a yes and your no is a no. And when you start doing that and you start building that trust with yourself, you actually start making better choices consistently. So how do we build trust with ourselves? Well, we start small. Pick one thing and you're going to commit to yourself. And then it's helpful when you have tools so that when your brain tells you, oh, no, that little bite won't hurt me. I'll just go ahead and have these Cheetos or these Oreos or whatever. That's when you bring in, okay, well, I'm going to tell myself the truth. This does count. I'm not going to feel good afterwards. And where is my healthy choice? Where's my healthy choice here? I'm committed to my healthy choice. And then we go find a healthy choice. When we do that, we are building trust with ourselves. And then lastly, the last thing we talked about in our call was she was telling me that the exercise wasn't going well. So I'm like, okay, why does it suck? Tell me why it sucks. So basically there's just one little thing that made it suck. If something is like that, if it's a sore, if you're going, I hate this or this sucks, you are not definitely going to show up for yourself. If it's something that you need to do, then we want to look at your brain. What is your brain telling you? So her brain was telling her, this sucks because I don't have all the equipment I need. Guess what? All we had to do was work through, okay, we didn't have enough equipment, so what are we going to do about that? Oh, we're going to start looking on Facebook Marketplace, and we're going to start with what we have, which is adequate, because she was waiting to start. No, let's start where we are. Here's our goal. 3 times a week, we're going to weight train, and this is somebody that has done that before. So we're starting at 3 times. If you have never done weight training, we don't start at 3 times. We start at 1. So that was the stumbling block, was I don't have all the things I need. The other one was the app she was using. She didn't know the next exercise. So she would have to stop it, go get what she needed. So guess what? We solved that problem. Really quick, look through your exercise program and see what you need and get a substitute or get it ready for you Easy peasy, 5 minutes, that problem is solved, right? So we solved those two little problems. Those little foxes were spoiling her workout because guess what? She was able to look through ahead of time at her videos, get what she needed. She's on the lookout for her heavier weight so her brain can calm down on that pop-up. And she is committed to the 3 times a week. And then here was my challenge. How can you make this fun? You guys, we need to have fun in our weight loss journey, our menopausal journey, our exercise. There is a way that you can make it fun. I want to challenge you. How can you make it fun? For you, it might be getting a new outfit or a new pair of shoes or a new tool, or maybe you give yourself a reward afterwards. Maybe what's fun to you is to put on music or to invite a friend to do it with you, or to, like I said, give yourself some type of, at the end of the week, if you did your 3 workouts, you get to take yourself out to lunch or get a massage or get a pedicure or whatever it is for you. It's going to be different. Maybe it's get a new book. I don't know. Make it fun. When you make it fun, you are going to show up for it. And it also produces what's called oxytocin. When you have that fun, oh, that feels good. Oxytocin opposes cortisol, and we want to lower those cortisol levels. We want that good oxytocin. So that was my challenge to her for her workout is, okay, we definitely don't want it to suck, and sometimes it's not fun. How can you make it fun? So if you have an area of your life, maybe it's food prep, maybe it's thinking through your week for food, maybe it's exercise, maybe it's getting everyday movement, maybe it's even figuring out what you need to do for your, how can you make it fun? That's a challenge that I want to throw out to you today. Pick an area that you are really not having fun in and see how you can bring in a little bit of fun for yourself. I guarantee you will thank yourself for it.